And welcome to the video. Today I'm going to lay out some of my trade thesis for the last day of trading day of this week. It's been a pretty interesting trading last few days. It's been pretty volatile, and to be honest with you, it's been kind of hard to make much money in this market. It's definitely moves around quite a bit. That's why I thought it'd be a good idea to mark out some of my thesis points and as to what I'm thinking is going to happen going into tomorrow, and we will sort of kind of take it from there. So basically, early in the week, we've been selling off in most of the major indexes for a couple of weeks now, since the beginning of December. It started with what they call tax loss harvesting, and it's something that actually happens at the beginning of every December. They sell a bunch of stocks that they're losing, and that makes everything go down because everybody's selling to take whatever losses they have and harvest them. The other side of it is we have some stuff going on with inflation right now. People are really worried about inflation. CPI numbers came in a little over 6.8%, brought and that brought the market kind of down for a little bit. One of the things that's happening is they're trying to find they're hoping to find the peak of inflation when inflation's at its highest, and they'd love to buy the stock market when inflation's at its highest and then just continues to descend from there, because as it goes down, the stock market, as we deflate, will continue to go, the stock market will go back up then. So there's a little bit of push-pull there, trying to figure out where the top of inflation will be and when the decline will happen. So this week, basically what has happened is everybody was anticipating there's a big Fed meeting, and the Fed announced that they'll be raising interest rates 3 times. They will be ending buying their bond purchases by the middle of March, and that basically that the propped up economy is kind of going to come to an end. And so you had a lot of selling based on that. Interest rates rising. There's a lot of people who seem to think that that's a bad idea, or that that's going to make stocks go down. So you have a lot of selling to get out of that. If you're interested and want to talk about it and find out more why they think that, I personally don't have an opinion. I react to what happens. I don't really care as to whether or not that's going to make stocks go up or stocks go down. The big thing looming coming forward, though, if we're forward looking, is it is December. It is around Christmas time. Even though we've had the tax loss harvesting plus the scare of inflation and the Fed raising rates and doing their speeding up their tapering, there's a pretty good chance that what we're looking for to happen is called the Santa Claus rally. This happens every year in December, where stocks pull back after the harvest, and then they just rip up going into Christmas and then the beginning of the new year. It's possible this thing could happen, where I've been kind of waiting for it and watching for it to start to happen. As the bears sort of jump into the market, I feel as though that the bulls are sort of letting that happen, letting that continue, so that they have somebody to squeeze to drive those prices even higher when they do. Again, I'm going to talk here in basic stock market language. If you have questions, find me on Facebook, get a hold of me somehow. I would love to have the discussion with you. If you are interested in learning to trade stocks, I'm going to take a minute right now. My girlfriend should have posted a link to Webull in the description. You can click on that, and you get free stocks. I don't get anything that whole thing goes to kind of support my girlfriend and her business and what they're doing. So I'm not really getting anything. I use Webull. I love Webull. They're fantastic as far as a broker goes. Yeah, so keep it short and sweet, I guess, to the end of this. Basically, here's what I think is going to happen tomorrow. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up a chart of IWM. And we're going to look at IWM. And you can see I have this chart is up here on the daily. And I'm actually going to remove some things really quick. Okay. So if you look at IWM on the daily, you can see that we had this massive run up right here. And then it's gone up and down and up and down, up and down, and it's kind of stayed within this range right here. Okay. And if I zoom in over here to where we ended today, you can see we closed pretty much underneath the bottom of this range. Okay. The thing about that, about this is if it breaks below this line that it's basically sitting on, it's already broken below. We have to find a place where it's going to fall to, where it can possibly find support again. If you can see, we had support here on the middle line, and chances are we're going to find support somewhere in here in this other line. That is a price area somewhere around $198 is somewhere we can fall to. That's something. There's a few little catches in here. This spot over here and this spot over here and this spot over here on the chart for the daily, where we can possibly see things moving down to. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the 30-minute now really fast so that we can kind of get a good picture. Again, we've got this massive downtrend happening over the last few days. We get a big pop up and we come down here and we're holding right around where this line is at the same point. The good news about this line, about it catching right here, if you're wanting it to continue upward, one, you can see we're kind of right in the same area as this little flat spot over here. You can see we're in this little spot where this little flat spot is over here. There's a pretty good chance you can get a continuation of this, and that Santa Claus rally may start tomorrow. It will be kind of weird to see it start happening in IWM because those are the small cap stocks. Where I think you will really want to look to see it is over here in SPY. Okay. And you can see kind of not quite the same chart on the 30-minute. Again, big fall off, big run up, sell off. But you can see over here we have higher. You got your higher lows over here. You can even see it. We can even go look on the daily, and you'll see a bit of it. Right, we've got our bottoms over here on these candles. We stayed above those. Okay, so really, what we're going to be watching for, and this is the 1 minute. Really want to see whether or not this is going to rally into tomorrow and into next week and into Christmas, and see if we can catch that rally. SPY trades the S&P 500, so basically top 500 companies. So there's a pretty good chance we will start the rally tomorrow. What I'm going to be looking for, I'm going to pull up my indicators really fast. We're going to be looking for what I'm seeing here. This big thick line, this is a 50-day moving average. This big thick dotted line, that's the 200-day moving average. What we're going to look for to ensure the rally is this line moves over the top. This 50-day average moves over the top of the 200. If that happens, then there's a pretty good chance that the rally is on. It's going to start. And if it doesn't, if this starts heading south, or this big thick line goes below that, that means our rally's off. People are still risking off. They're still scared of inflation. They're still scared of all sorts of stuff. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen tomorrow. I can tell through a lot of this consolidation right here. There's a pretty good chance that, so if you go back a day, if you see this consolidation, we get the gap up, get the spike up, right? Before, and once it hits this peak, then you start to get the sell off. Again, we're at the same sort of inflection point. You got, support right here, coming into that. And so there's a pretty good chance you'll get the bounce up tomorrow. I'm neither bullish nor bearish. It doesn't really make any sort of sense to be either way on this. It really doesn't. Let me see if I can get rid of this chart really quick. I don't need any more charts. Yeah, so it doesn't really make any sense to be bullish or bearish. You really just want to watch those averages and see which way, where they're going to cross, where they're going to meet, and watch your volume profile lines. Those are going to be kind of, when you do have the big spikes up, you want to see large amounts of volume on that. So, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't think that tomorrow I'll probably focus mostly on IWM. And what I'm going to say about IWM is that I think we're going to flush into the open. I think you're going to continue to sell off. And somewhere about midday, you're going to see the rally start to come in. That is my best guess as far as what's concerned. Again, none of this is financial advice. If I did talk over your head or you are missing anything, information, or have questions, reach out to me on Facebook or reach out to my girlfriend on social media shows. She can help you get a hold of me. She's actually pretty knowledgeable at this point, so she might even be able to tell you some stuff. But go ahead and hit up social media shows. Hit me up on the Russell Journal on Facebook, and you've kind of got my thesis points for tomorrow. So thanks, guys, and have a good night.